Hello, this is Bishop Garland Hunt. This is the Power of Hope devotional. Welcome back. I love those that are following me. Some of you are so faithful. I just want to appreciate those that are following me closely. I know some of you don't never comment. You never say anything. But I do appreciate those that are following me. And if you will, please at least do a like. Do something to show that you're listening and you're looking. And if you do comment, I'll do everything I can to respond. But this is what I want to talk to you about today, God's mercy. I want to talk to you today about God's mercy. And one of the best examples of God's mercy is a woman caught in adultery. A woman caught in adultery, John chapter 8. And you know the story, but I do love going through the word with you because I think sometimes we miss the word. The word is the standard of life. So as opposed to me just giving you a little story, I like to read it to you if I can. Within this is about a 5-minute broadcast. It's only 5-minute post. Is it worth it to hear about God's mercy? So again, Jesus was talking at the return to the Mount of Olives. Early the next morning, he was back again in the temple, and the crowd soon gathered and sat down, and he taught them. As he was speaking, the teachers of religious law and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in the act of adultery, and they put her in front of the crowd. She was caught in the act. So it was not a question of her guilt. There was no question of this woman's guilt. She was caught in the act of adultery. Teacher, they said to Jesus, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. The law of Moses says, stone her. What do you say? What do you say? Of course, they were trying to trap him into saying something that they could use against him. But Jesus stooped down and wrote in the dust with his finger. It does not say what he was writing, but he was writing something in the dust with his finger. Writing something in the dust with his finger. And then it says they kept demanding an answer. So he stood up and he said, all right, let one of you who has never sinned, I want you to throw the first stone. And you know how that goes in the King James. He stooped down and wrote, and so they said, literally, you did with no sin to cast the first stone. If you haven't done anything wrong ever, you're not sinful ever. You never done any sin. I want you to throw the first stone. Why would he respond that way? Because he did not deny that the woman was caught in adultery, nor did he deny that the woman should be stoned. He just said, judge yourself. Whoever is clean right now, I want you to cast the first stone. So look what it says. So then he says, all right, so then he stooped down and wrote in dust. And so when the accusers heard this, they slipped away one by one, beginning with the oldest, until Jesus was left in the middle of the crowd with the woman. You know what? I don't know if you heard this story, but I really believe, I think he started naming people. I think he gave some names. Why was he writing in the dust? I don't know that they would have been convicted enough to admit that they were out. See, that pride was just too great. Religious pride is some of the most venomous pride that you can have. These people are filled with religious pride. But when their sins was revealed in the dust, they one by one left. And some of them, maybe he didn't get to every one of them, but just the fact that he was identifying things that were going on in that crowd, they said, whoa, let me go. So they left one by one and they got out of there. And then he says, so Jesus stood up and said to the woman, where are your accusers? Did any one of them condemn you? And she said, no. You know what he said? Then Jesus said, neither do I. Go and sin no more. Neither do I. Go and sin no more. In other words, this was an opportunity for God's mercy. Sometimes we're too quick for judgment, and the judgment could be true, but don't give up on people. God's always, he prefers mercy. He always stands on the side of mercy. I'd rather you stay on the side of mercy than quick judgment, because you don't know how God may look at it. See, they thought they had him. Sometimes if you know that it's a fact and you know that it's bad and you know that it's wrong, the first thing you want to do is excommunicate somebody. You want to judge somebody. But maybe there's room for mercy. Jesus made room for mercy to clearly An obviously caught woman in adultery says, where is someone to condemn you? She said, no one. He said, I don't either. Go and sin no more. Very important. Stop sinning. The mercy of God is there. This is Bishop Garland Hunt. Power of Hope Devotional. Stay in his mercy for me. Talk to you later.